What's up, everybody? This is Coach MJ, the coaching connoisseur, and I want to welcome you to our Wednesday Lunch and Learn. Today's topic, as you can see on the screen, has to do with something that I actually heard a person ask me a question about. And I get this question a lot, whether it's on my breakthrough calls or it's just in my inbox. People are concerned with hiring a coach and then being disappointed in the results. She literally said, if I pay someone to help me start it, and she was talking about her business, I'll be disappointed in the quality not meeting expectations. And I believe those are valid concerns, right? As much as you might know that you need help starting your business, and you need to invest in that help and not expect everything to come to you for free to build a 6 or 7 figure business. You also don't want to be throwing good money after bad or casting your pearls before swine, as the expression goes. You want to make sure that you are getting your money's worth or hiring the right person. And I know there are a lot of people out here, a lot of gurus and shamas and experts on the internet saying that they can help you start your business. I see their ads all the time. I see their content because since I'm in this space, of course, they feed me the ads of my colleagues, my peers, I guess I would say, in this realm. And specifically, we're talking about starting a coaching business. However, what we're going to be talking about today applies across the board, really, if you are starting any business. And I want to level set and just reiterate, when you want to start a business, if you want to grow it at any kind of a rapid rate, if you want to avoid a lot of mistakes that you will make because of what you don't know, if you want to avoid staying stuck in your job longer than necessary because your business continues to fail time after time after time, you need to hire a coach. You need a coach to start a business, just like you need a coach in athletics. You need a coach to start a business. And a lot of people might disagree. They may think, there's stuff out here on the internet, and that's true of sports as well. You don't have to get a coach if you don't want to. You can learn how to do sports and watch videos on YouTube and read articles. I guess you could eventually learn something, but most people know, now I need to align with a coach, a trainer, somebody who already has all the answers and can just guide me step by step, right? But a lot of times in business and even in education, besides sports, education is another example of where people know they need coaching, right? Coaching is defined as someone who helps someone get from where they are to where they want to go, to close the gap between the problem they have and the solution that they desire, right? So even a teacher is a type of coach. When you wanted to get your degree, you didn't go to college just because that's what they required you to have in order to get the degree. You went because you didn't know what you were doing and you needed teachers to guide you step by step. But it's interesting how when people start businesses, they think I can just put it together myself on the internet because I'm a smart and clever girl. And we strong Black women, we especially can have that problem bad of thinking I can just figure it out. I don't need any help, or I don't need to invest in any help. I'll just figure it out myself. And a lot of that comes from not only kind of thinking that we're clever enough to figure it out on our own. A lot of times it comes from fear of the risk when you invest in something and you don't immediately see a return. And the other thing is sometimes we don't believe as women, or I should say others don't believe, because I know better than this, but some of us don't believe that we're worth the investment. So you'll spend the kind of money that it takes to get coaching. You'll spend that money on your home, on your children, on your spouse, on people at your church, your extended family. You will spend on everybody else, but you won't invest in yourself. When it comes to yourself, you're like, I don't know if it's worth the risk. Now, what you say is that I don't know if it's worth it. I need to think about it. I don't think this is for me. I might be disappointed in the coach, but what it's really saying is I don't believe that I can do this. Because if the coach has what you need, you know what I'm saying? Saying that you're not going to invest in them because of what they're doing or what they might do and be in disappointment is not really accurate. That's taking the attention off of where it is. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. We're not, but just know that a lot of times it's either come from this perception that we're strong enough to figure it out on our own, that we are afraid of the risk, or that we just don't feel like we are worth investing that kind of money. But I am stating, as a person experienced in this field, you need a coach. You need a coach, not just a mentor that you talk to once every several months, an actual coach. But we're going to talk about how you can find the perfect coach for you where you don't feel like you're disappointed in the quality not meeting expectations. And I know where this young lady got this from, because a lot of times my clients have already worked with different people out here professing to be coaches, and they still are stuck at square one until they meet me. And that's unfortunate, because a lot of times they've spent hundreds or even thousands of dollars on these coaches and still don't have what they need. But I do want to say, if you have found yourself in that situation where you have invested in coaches and you still are stuck, you're still not making money, your business is still at square one, I want to salute you for even being willing to invest in yourself. But because of the reasons we were just talking about, at least you were willing, and you are willing to invest in professional help, because that is so necessary to achieving what you want. You can't expect a big return in life, in any place in life, without putting something in. You can't expect your relationships to be great when you don't nurture them. You can't expect your health to be phenomenal and be in great shape and hot girl summer and all that when you treat your body terrible. You have to put good in to get good out. And if you expect to build a 6 or 7 figure business, whether you want to do it in the next year or two, or whether you want to take 10 years, you need to put something in. And that's something that people often are afraid to put in, is actual money by way of hiring a coach. So that's why we're here. But at least if you are willing to invest in yourself, you are light years ahead of all the people who are just going to talk about it, but never actually manifest it in their lives because they think they can get something for nothing. So if you are willing to invest, keep listening, because you're going to find out how to find your perfect coach and not be afraid of the results or the quality not meeting expectations. And so we've got 6 steps or 6 things you need to do, or ways you need to approach it to make sure that you won't be disappointed in the coach that you hire. The first one is that you need to focus on, when you're looking at coaches, focus on the outcome that you want that they can help you to achieve, not on the amount of time that they are spending with you. And it's easy to understand where people get this idea that I need them to spend all this time with me one-on-one, and it needs to take this many hours. You know, they're talking about all this stuff that all this time they're going to spend with you, and all this stuff they're going to do with you. It's easy to see why that mentality is there, because most people are paid by time. At your job, you're paid by the hour. Even if you are salary, there's this expectation that you will work at least 40 hours, even though you're not paid by the hour, right? So if you try to tell your boss, yeah, I work for you full time, I can get it done in 20 hours, they're either going to say, we don't need you, they're going to add some more work on, or they're going to feel like you're getting over in some kind of way. So there's this expectation of, you spend a lot of time working for us, and that's why we pay you X amount of dollars. And so when you go into the coaching realm and you start looking at what these coaches are saying they'll do for you, a lot of times it's easy to look at the amount of time that they will be spending with you and thinking that if they don't have a lot of time they're spending with me, then they're not going to be able to do a good job for me. But that's absolutely incorrect. You need to focus on, what outcome do I want? And can this person get me that outcome? That's all that matters. Whatever that they have, whatever system or approach or tools that they have devised to get you that outcome, it doesn't matter how much or how little time they actually spend with you. With a leveraged model, it should not take a lot of time for them to help you to get to where you want to go. Indeed, the coaching model that I use in my business takes less and less time. The more successful I am and the more money I make, it takes me less and less time to achieve that. And so then that's the same model that I pass on to my clients, is how to achieve the lifestyle you want, the impact that you want to make on your clients, spending less and less time and having a bigger and bigger effectiveness and impact with each thing that you do. So when you are looking for a coach, you don't need to be focusing on, oh, this person said I will have, 10 one-on-one calls with them, and this person only said 2. The 10 must be better. No, that could mean that they're just not efficient with what they're doing. That could mean that they don't know how to make the best use of their time. And so that's why they think they need to spend all kinds of time with you. However, looking at the amount of time that they spend with you is not the way to do it. Also, the amount of time that it takes to get the results should not concern you. Sometimes we think if it takes longer, like if they say it's I don't know, a 6-month program, then that's better than a 3-month program. But that's actually, to me, it's counterintuitive. If you can get me the outcome faster, that's better, because that's less time that I'm going to spend suffering in my job. This less time I'm going to be missing out on this income and this impact that I am meant to have in this world by doing what I'm meant to do in the coaching realm or in any business realm, right? If you can get the result faster, wouldn't you want that? Don't be suspicious because they say they can get it done faster. The idea that everything that can be done fast is a get-rich-quick scheme is what keeps people down in poverty. Rich people make money fast all the time, and that's not because they're doing something immoral or illegal. It's just that it takes more time to make a little bit of money than it does to make a lot of money. It takes more time to earn a little bit of money than it does to make a lot of money. Think of how long it takes you to earn, let's say, $3,000 at work at your hourly rate. But there are people who broker real estate deals, for example, that make $30,000, $300,000 in an hour, right? When the money that's being made per deal is higher, it's easier to make more money in less time. Don't look at your coach and say, "Oh, they saying they can get it done fast. That must mean it's some kind of a gimmick. That must mean it's a scheme." No, that means that they have a leveraged model. That means that they are efficient. That means that they have cracked the code and they are taking out all the fluff. A lot of times what is making it take so long is a lot of fluff. It's a lot of extras that you don't need. So don't look at the outcome, not the amount of time that they're spending with you or the amount of time that they're taking to get you to that outcome. Less time is better when you are trying to get out of the problem that you're having. And the problem that you're having is that your business, your coaching business, is not up and running. The problem that you're having is that you don't know how to do it. You don't know how to market yourself. The problem that you're having is that you don't even know how to package what you know as an offer that the marketplace wants. That's the problem you have. And if somebody can get you there in 6 weeks, don't look at the person that's going to take 6 months and think that's better, because you're not working by time anymore in this realm right here. You are working based on outcomes. And the same thing that you're looking for in a coach that can get you your outcome quickly is what you should do as a coach once you become one with your clients. Get them to the outcome as quickly as possible so they can stop suffering as soon as possible. Don't look at the amount of time when you're looking at a coach. Look at the outcome. Okay, that's the first thing. The second step to not be disappointed in the coach you hire, now that you are focusing on outcomes and not the amount of time spent, is that you need to seek an A to Z solution. This is probably, if I had to rank all these steps, this is probably the biggest one, because a lot of the people out here that are making people that are having people buy their solutions, $1,000 here, $500 there, $1,500 here. The reason why they're so cheap is they're not giving you the whole picture. They're helping you do a small amount of it. They're helping you to achieve a small amount. And they may present it as, all you have to do is this one thing and your business is going to explode. And I can help you do it for $499. That is not true. And when you are looking at finding a quality coach, you don't need to be looking for bargain basement prices. Bargain basement prices are a recipe for getting not A to Z, meaning everything you need, but rather A, B, and C. Or you might get L, M, and P. You might get Q and V of the solution, but you're not getting all of it. But when they set it up to make you think, all you need to do is come work with me and you'll be set. And then you do the things that they want you to do, and you don't get the result. That's when you're disappointed. The rest of the story is when you don't, talking about looking for bargain basement prices, when you don't have a lot invested, you don't show up fully committed. That's just a fact. And so a lot of times with those cheaper coaches that are not offering an A to Z solution, you don't even show up and do the little things that they're telling you to do. So you don't even get the little bit of outcome that they could have helped you get, that's a part of your bigger outcome that you desire, because there wasn't that much at stake. I talk to women all the time who say, I invested $1,500 in a program. I invested $500 in a program, and I still haven't finished it. I still haven't done what they told me to do. And I think it's because, number one, there wasn't that much at stake. $500 is not a lot of money. $1,500 is not a lot of money, especially when you're talking about earning 6 or 7 figures in a business. That's not any money at all. And the rest of the story is you deep down, you suspect that because this is cheaper, it's not as good. And so you're like, I don't really want to do this because this doesn't feel like it's everything. See, your mind can't be fooled. Your subconscious mind can't be fooled. You can fool yourself on the surface, but your subconscious mind has that. That's where your intuition comes in. It has those little things that are nudging you saying something doesn't feel right. They're saying they're going to help you to become a millionaire and they just want $99 from you. How did they become a millionaire with $99 being spent? They've got hundreds of thousands of people buying from them. It just doesn't seem to add up. And something in the back of your mind tells you this isn't the whole story. You can't fix my relationship that's at the brink of divorce for $49. You can't. This book, this $9 ebook is not going to be everything I need to know to fix my marriage. Because if it was that easy, my marriage probably would not be in crisis right now. Something in the back of your mind, your subconscious mind tells you when something seems too good to be true. And so somebody's saying, just come to this, and this is going to be all you need to do. Now, I will say there are times when there can be a less expensive journey that is a stair step to the full solution. I myself, I have 4-day challenges. I have 1-day in-person events that I host, but I never present them as this is, once you come to this 4-day, your business is going to explode. Like, that's not even realistic. How could I do something for 4 or 5 hours and all of a sudden that's everything I need to know to compete with the big dogs out here? Those events, those challenges, those workshops are a stepping stone. Those trainings are a gateway to the full solution, but they are not the full solution because you need somebody to walk step by step with you to give you the A to Z solution. So when you are looking to hire a coach, you need somebody who has all of it, who's going to give you all of it. And while they don't have to drag it out over months and months and years, it's going to take some weeks to get there because you have to undo habits. You have to learn new things. You have to do research. You have to set things up. You have to practice. You have to learn new tools, new skills. You're not going to do that in 3-4 days. You can be introduced to it in a short amount of time, but it's not going to come to you in 3 or 4 days. So having, and this kind of goes into the next one, is having realistic and clear expectations. Having realistic and clear expectations. We talked about having an A to Z solution, meaning this coach can take you from beginning of just having a great idea to your business is ready to rock and roll, or it already is rocking and rolling, right? But you also have to have realistic and clear expectations for what your coaching experience is going to be. And expecting that somebody can talk to you for 4 or 5 hours and you don't do anything else and the money's just going to come flooding in. That's not realistic. But a lot of people think that way. They think, oh yeah, when I work with this person, they said, all I got to do is come to this workshop and the money's going to come flooding in. If anybody's telling you that, it's a lie. It's a lie. Yes, you can make money fast, but you got to put effort in. Like, fast is relative. Fast compared to trying to, comparing trying to build up $1 million in a 401k working 40 years for somebody else versus making $1 million over the course of a couple of years, a few years, maybe even 5 years, however long that takes. 40 versus 5. Yeah, that's fast. But don't expect that working with this coach, all of a sudden you're going to have the very thing that they have in less time than they even spent to get it. Because guess what? The coaches out here, I can speak for myself personally. I invested tens of thousands, probably $50,000 in myself so far, and continuing to do that to get the results I have. So I can't work with you for 6 weeks and you have the same outcomes as I do from investing $50K in my professional development as an entrepreneur. You need to be realistic about what it is that you want. And you need to be clear, or what you expect rather. And you need to be clear on the expectations, not just what you expect from them, but what they expect from you. And any good coach, unless they have some type of a done for you solution where they're actually doing things for you, any good coach is going to have expectations for what you do. I know I won't just work with anybody who gets on my calendar. There are people I talk to all the time that I'm not interested in working with. And so I just bid them farewell without going deeper into the conversation just because they are not a fit. I have standards. I have things I expect my clients to do so that they can get the results. I don't want a bunch of people out here that don't get the results, because no matter what happens, when people don't get what they want, they tend to blame the person who was working with them, even though it wasn't necessarily their fault. And I don't want my name associated with people who don't work hard, who are not coachable, who are not resourceful, who are not committed. And so I make it clear those are my expectations for people I work with. So when we talk about having realistic and clear expectations, it goes both ways. And when I saw this young lady's question, if I pay someone to help me start it, I will be disappointed in the quality not meeting expectations. I guarantee she was talking about the coach and what she expects from them and not what she expected from herself or what the coach expected from her. It's a two-way street. Just like an athlete can't say, I don't work with this coach, a basketball coach, and I don't want to be disappointed if I don't have the results I want, hit the expectation, but they don't ever practice. They don't show up to the games. They don't do any of the things. They don't do the drills and all those things, but then they're going to say they're disappointed in the coach. The coach has expectations for you as well, and you need to be clear about what those are. So being realistic about what you can expect from a person, because here's what's true. Your coach can't make you do anything. And that's why this kind of goes into the next step. The fourth step is not to expect guarantees. Anybody guaranteeing you results, run like the wind. Run from that person because they cannot guarantee results. First of all, they can't determine the market. We can base our expertise on what the market has done, what it's likely to do, but we can't control it. COVID taught us that. There's a whole lot of people that were expecting a whole lot of stuff in 2020, none of which happened because we can't control that. And the other thing that they can't control and why they should not be guaranteeing results as a coach or guaranteeing results is that they can't control you. You have to show up and do what they tell you to do. You've got to show up 1,000% and play full on. And the thing is, if you don't have skin in the game, and by skin in the game, I'm talking about financial investment, you're not going to be in there all the way. That's just not, it's very, very rare to find the person that shows up when they don't have skin in the game at the level of person that does. That's an extremely rare, highly motivated person. But a lot of times those people they've already, not that they don't ever need coaches, but a lot of times those people are already light years ahead of where everybody else is because of how they operate. They have that internal drive where if they have an opportunity, they're going to take full advantage of it regardless of it. But most people, it's back to that, where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. And people who don't invest in themselves financially, they also don't invest time-wise. They don't invest effort-wise because they are holding back, right? And so we as coaches cannot guarantee your results. So if you are looking for a coach and they're out here saying, we guarantee that in 30 days, you're going to what they're going to do if you don't get there? Are they going to give you the money? Are they going to give you something that's going to make you get those results? You cannot be looking for guarantees. There are no guarantees in business. There are no guarantees in life. I may hope that today is going to unfold the way I want it to, as far as the things on my to-do list, the people I'm going to see, the activities I'm going to participate in. But I'm not guaranteed that. I'm not guaranteed that I'm going to walk out this house today, get in my car, and I'm not going to get in an accident. Like, there's no guarantees in life. And so don't go into a coaching experience looking for a guarantee. They can't guarantee you're going to be successful. They can't control your future coaching clients. They can't control that you're going to do everything they say. You might say you're doing it, but you might not be, or you might be doing it the best you can, but something else outside of their control, which is most things are outside of your coach's control, still makes things not go well. Understand that going into the business world is not guaranteed, but then having a job, staying in your cubicle prison is not guaranteed. They could fire you today, right after you get off of this workshop, this lunch and learn. They might tell you, we don't need you anymore. They're not guaranteeing things in the job world, so don't look for guarantees as an entrepreneur. There are no guarantees that you're going to get the clients you want. Now, there are things that are likely. If you put in this effort and you can manifest success, if you try hard enough and do the right things long enough, you're going to succeed some kind of way. It doesn't happen that you keep putting effort in that never pays off. But saying that it's going to happen this certain way, do not go with a coach that's telling you, I guarantee it. The only thing they can guarantee is that if you show up, you will be successful eventually. That's all we can say, because that's how life works. Those that continue to be consistent, they get the outcomes. End of story. That's how that works, right? but they can't guarantee that's going to happen. So expect no guarantees. So we've already talked about focusing on outcomes, not time, seeking an A to Z solution, not just bits and pieces, having realistic and clear expectations in both directions, not just what you expect them to do, but what you expect yourself to do, and then expect no guarantees. The next thing is ask questions. Now, this is a big one that I often struggle with my clients to get them to ask the questions. Everybody's business is different. And no matter how great your coach is, and I'm a great coach, right? Nothing I present to you is going to cover everything because everybody's situation is different. Everybody runs up against different obstacles. Different things happen while we're working together. There's just a lot of moving parts. You need to take the responsibility to ask plenty of questions about what's going on. A lot of people take a very passive approach with their coaching experience. They just sit back and say, okay, I'm in this program now. What you gonna do? They're looking at the coach. And so they do some of it and then they're like, I've actually heard people say, like, I was waiting for them to do this particular topic and they never did. But did you ask? They can't read your mind. You might be the first person to have that particular issue. Nobody knows everything. Even an expert coach does not know everything. You have to ask plenty of questions. And I'm actually going to tie this together with the sixth step of owning your results. Take ownership of the result you want, which is a successful business, a successful coaching empire. It cannot be that you depend on your coach to want it more than you do. I'm waiting on them. They never say it. I guess they don't know what they're talking about. Did you ask though? Are you taking ownership of what you want? Are you going out there and hustling? And there are going to be things that aren't a part of working with them. Even with an A to Z solution, they're not going to give you everything because no one person knows everything. As an entrepreneur, you have to take ownership because you are the HNIC, the head ninja in charge. You are the one creating the work. You are the one with the ideas. You are the one making things happen. You can't expect it to be given to you. And if you're taking a passive approach with a coach, no wonder you're disappointed in the outcome that you get. You need to take an active approach. Ask questions whenever they have a Q&A. If they have a Q&A, I know I have Q&As with mine. I'm looking to you to come up with the Q's and I'll come up with the A's, right? Don't expect someone to read your mind. Don't just sit back and say, I'm going to see what they do. I'm going to see, coming with that kind of attitude of expecting someone to give you something. It's the results you get and not being disappointed in the coach you hire really comes down to how you approach working with them. Every time they have a coaching session, you need to be there and you need to be there live. Every time they give you an assignment, you need to do it as fast as you can. Every time they give you homework, you need to do it. Every time there's a deliverable you need to come up with, you need to do it. Own your results. And if you don't understand something, ask questions. This is how you will not end up being disappointed in the coach. And you're probably, if you are receiving this, say amen in the comments. If you're rolling your eyes like, MJ, it looks like you're putting it back on us. Absolutely. Because this is whose 6 or 7 figure coaching business. Is it the coach's or is it yours? It's yours. And you have to treat it like a business. You have to treat it like your legacy depends on it. You have to treat it like you really want to get away from your job and be on your own. Being in a job can wreck a person because it teaches you how to depend on somebody else to give you everything. I heard somebody say it this way and I love it. With a job, somebody else buys the pencils. When you work for yourself, you buy the pencils. You are responsible for literally buying everything for your business, but also for going out there and getting what you need to create the results that you want. And your coach is not responsible for that. They can give you the roadmap, but they can't force you to get in the car and drive. So see your coach as the tour guide or as they're giving you the roadmap to say, this is how you get from point A to point B, but they're not going to drive you there. They may ride in the car with you part of the way. I know I walk through when people are in my coaching program, I'm walking through step by step with them for those weeks that we are working together. And I'm even there afterwards to cheer them on as they move on, but I am not driving. I may ride along a little ways, then I'm going to get out the car because it's not my business. It's their business. You have to own your results. You have to open up your mouth and ask for what you want. Don't just sit there and hope that they read your mind, hope that they can figure out those things that they might have been, that you might be looking for, that they haven't covered yet, or that may not have ever come up. Guess what? Being a coach, I'm sweating. Being a coach is an evolving, dynamic business. I am constantly learning. I'm constantly adding new things. I'm constantly evolving. Being a coach 10 years ago is very different from being one now, and helping other women, Black women like you, to become coaches is very different now than what it would have been 10 years ago. So I'm constantly learning, and I learn from my clients. I learn through my clients, but they've got to open up their mouth. They've got to show up. You've got to show up 100, 1,000% and put in to get out. You're not going to get out more than you put in a coaching business or in any business. And that's what these 6 steps are about. Focusing on the outcomes, not time spent. Seeking an A to Z solution, a coach that has that. Having realistic, clear expectations in both directions with your coach. Expecting no guarantees of success, because the world is not about guarantees. Life is not about guarantees, and business certainly is not. Asking plenty of questions and not expecting somebody to read your mind, and then taking full ownership of your results by showing up and doing what you are supposed to do, and not saying, I'm disappointed in the coach. They didn't meet expectations. It's not up to them. It's up to you, because you are the future business owner. And if you would like to know more about how you can actually build a business that is going to be not disappointing, because it's not the coach that would be disappointed. It'd be your expectations and your results in your business. How to create a coaching business that exceeds your wildest dreams, where you can earn 6 or 7 figures a year, and then 6 or 7 figures a month once you grow it to that level. The sky is the limit. If you want to learn how to build a leveraged coaching business that takes less and less time, the more money you make and the more impact you have, then I invite you to book a free breakthrough call with me at melaniehunter.com/chat. That's MELLANIE hunter.com/chat. Get on my calendar and let's have a conversation. The reason why I have these calls, and these calls are actually free, is because I want to help you get clear on what it is that you really want, why you're not getting it, and what will happen if you don't get it, and what it's going to take to get there. And we're not just talking about, I just want a business so I can pay my bills. Nobody's motivated to start a business just to pay bills. That's what jobs are for. What do you really want? What is it you're afraid to even speak on because you think it's so unrealistic? You don't think you can ever have it. That's what we're going to get you clear on in this 45-minute conversation. And then we're going to map out a way for you to get there. If you're serious, if you really want it. This is not for curious Carlas, looky-loos. If you're just wondering and just interested, this isn't for you. I'm not looking for people who are interested. I'm looking for people who are ready now to enroll and claim your dream. Your dream of a lifestyle where you are free to travel the world whenever you want to. Your dream of being able to not always make decisions based on the money. Your dream of not being dependent on Social Security when you get of a certain age. Your dream of not having to dread Mondays and live for the weekends all the time. That dream. That's the one we're going to be talking about. So book your call at melaniehunter.com/chat. Fill out the application that pops up after you book your call. Put it on your calendar and show up for your call so we can get you free. Time is up for playing games in this job world. It's not dependable. And quite frankly, that's not your assignment. You were made for more. You were made to use your expertise to change other people's lives by becoming an influencer, a writer, a speaker, whatever that is in the coaching realm. And you can do that, but you got to learn how. And it starts with this call. So again, book your free breakthrough call with me at melaniehunter.com/chat. I look forward to speaking to you, to getting to know you, and finding out exactly what it's going to take to get you to your dream. You actually have access now when we get on the call to the very coach that I just described in this broadcast. And so book your call now, and we will talk soon. Take care, and I will see you on the next broadcast. Be blessed.